Hey guys, today I'm filming my Hit It or Quit It thoughts on hauls. If you guys have never seen one of these videos from me before, I have my playlist linked down below, and basically I will be re-reviewing all the products I feature in a haul video from 10 months back and let you know my current thoughts. Oftentimes once you see a product featured in a haul, you never hear it mentioned again unless it's in a favorites or an empties. So what I like to do in these videos is review every single item that I hauled for you guys. My inspiration for this series is It's Kirsten and her What I Thought on Stuff I Bought series. I will have her channel and her playlist linked down below. I will also link down below the original haul video, and I will list and link all the items that I'm mentioning. So I purchased a ton of things from Colourpop that were new for spring. The first thing was the Colourpop eyebrow pencil in the shade Blondie. I do have a first impression on that. I will have that linked up here. I have since completely used up that product. It is a automatic brow pencil. You can twist it up, but unfortunately you cannot twist it back down. It is really precise, but it isn't as skinny as the NYX Micro Brow or the Anastasia Brow Wiz. It is most similar to the Maybelline Define-A-Brow and the MAC eyebrow pencil, but it is still very precise, and I was able to shape and fill in my brows perfectly with that. It did stick to brow hair and to skin, which is very important for me. It was also the lightest blonde brow pencil I've ever found, which is why I really loved it, because you guys know I draw my brows on to be a pretty intense shape, so if the color can be lighter, then it doesn't seem as harsh. And I haven't repurchased it, but I definitely plan on it in the future. I was really impressed with the formula. I love the color, and if I'm ever ordering from Colourpop and I'm only a couple dollars away from free shipping, I'm definitely going to add one of those to my cart. I would highly recommend it. I think it was a really great product. I did go through it pretty quickly, but $5 is fantastic for a brow pencil. All the rest of these products I did do an entire video on. I did a review, swatch, and comparison video on the Colourpop Spring Collection. I will have that video linked up here so you can see all the in-depth swatches and comparisons. You guys know how large my Colourpop collection is, so that might be able to help you decide whether you need it or whether it's too similar to something you already have. The first shade I have is Flower Shop. This is a pearlized finish, which you guys know is my favorite. A really pretty blue-green mermaid kind of color. Has a really nice metallic sheen to it. Absolutely love this eyeshadow. It is super pretty for spring and summer and just a really great pop of color on the lids. And then I have the shade Belladonna Lily, which is a matte finish. I don't really love the mattes, but this color was so unique I had to have it. It is really cool, but I do kind of have some trouble figuring out how to wear it. I believe Katie from Lustrelux did do a tutorial with this one, so I'll have to look back at that. I love this color so much, but I kind of have a hard time wearing it, but I'm definitely still glad that I have it. And with Colourpop's collection, sometimes they'll add products to the permanent line, and sometimes they'll discontinue things, so I'm not really sure which products are still available right now. And then I purchased one thing from the Jamie King collection, and this is the Colourpop Lippie pencil in the shade Polite Society. This is a really pretty pink tone peach. I really love this color, and the actual Lippie stick that went along with this was a lot more on the orangey side, and this one definitely has more pink to it, so I'm really glad I got the lip liner instead. You guys know how much I love the Colourpop lip liners. I think the formula is amazing. They don't slip slide around, but they aren't too drying either. I am able to line and fill in my lips completely, so I absolutely love the formula and this color. And then I have one Lippie stick. This is the shade Hype Girl. It is a matte finish, and this is from the spring collection. This is the perfect pink tone peach. I love wearing these two shades together. It's the most fantastic combination, and my perfect Colourpop peach. I've said this before in a couple of videos, but I had so many Colourpop peach lippy sticks that just were not right. They were too brown or too orange, too nude. None of them were pink enough for me. I finally found the perfect one, so I'm going to try to resist all the other Colourpop peach lippy sticks that they're coming out with, because this is my perfect shade, and it is a matte finish, which is my favorite lippy stick finish. So I love these two formulas and these shades so much, and I like wearing them together. These two products and my next one were actually featured in my 2016 yearly favorites, which I will have linked up here. And then I had purchased 3 of the Colourpop Ultra Satin lips. I have Dopey, which is part of their original release, but it was out of stock for a long time. Spritz was one of the 3 shades from the spring collection, and Molly was one of the 4 shades from the summer Humble Brag collection. So I have 3 Ultra Satin lips from various collections. I love this formula. I used to love the matte formula, not anymore, but the satin formula is incredible. I really wish that they remade all of the matte shades in this satin finish because I love it so much. So this is incredibly opaque. It is very long lasting, but it does transfer. I don't mind that because it's so much more comfortable than an ultra matte lip, and when it transfers, you will get color on whatever touches your mouth, but it's not going to take away from the color on your lip. So it just lasts so much longer. An incredibly comfortable formula. I love the Ultra Satin so much. And the shade Molly is the one I featured in my yearly favorites, the most perfect pinky purple ever. I did create a tutorial with this lip color in the Anastasia Tomato palette. I will have that linked up here. Just a really nice golden bronze eye. This looks amazing in the spring or in the summer, which is when I wore it. I love this color so much, and the formula is amazing. I also really love Dopey. This definitely looks darker on me than it does in the tube. It's a beautiful mauve color, highly recommend it. And the shade Spritz, I love in the packaging because it looks a bit more muted, but on my lips, it's a lot brighter. I love pinks, but it has to be the right color of pink. And this is just a little too bright for my liking. I definitely want to try to wear it again this springtime and see what I think about it. This is a color that probably depends on my makeup look, but I wish it looked the same in the tube, but unfortunately it looks brighter on my lips and I don't love it as much. So the formula is amazing. So I recommend whatever colors you would like in this formula, but Dopey and Molly are absolute must-haves. So those are all of my Colourpop products. And then I had purchased a bunch of things from Ulta, and I mentioned in that video that I was returning almost everything from my order with the exception of one thing. The one thing I decided to keep is the Anastasia single eyeshadow in the shade Blazing. This is the most gorgeous burnt orange with brown in it, and I love this color so much. It is a matte finish. I love the Anastasia single shadows. I like all of her finishes, but the mattes are incredibly pigmented and they blend out really nicely. This does have a bit of kick up, but it's not too bad. I love wearing that in the outer corner with any warm tone looks. I am absolutely obsessed with that shade, so that one is definitely a favorite. Highly recommend it. And then for the other products I purchased and returned, that would be some other Anastasia eyeshadows. So I had been wanting a couple shades and I waited too long and they went out of stock, and I was really bummed, and I had a 20% off coupon, so I wanted to still buy some other Anastasia shadows. When I got them in person, I decided I didn't like them enough to keep them. So I had gotten the shade Red Earth, which she's had for forever, and it just wasn't as exciting as I wanted it to be. It was definitely a lot more brown than red. The shade Sateen, which I believe was like a golden champagne shade that looked amazing on other people, but as I've said before, champagnes don't show up on my skin tone very well because they're just too similar. The third shade was Buon Fresco, and I wanted that one, but I felt like it was too similar to Dusty Rose for me to keep, and I'm glad I did end up returning it because that was one of the shadows in the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, which I have. I love. I'm actually wearing Buon Fresco as my transition color today, so I'm glad that I was able to get that eyeshadow in some capacity, and I'm really happy I returned the single so I don't have a duplicate. And the last shade is Comfort, which was a shimmery dark brown. It just wasn't exciting. So I'm glad I ended up returning all of those shades, and I have all of my perfect Anastasia eyeshadows now. The other thing I had returned is the NYX Pro Foundation Mixer in white. I was stoked to get that, and it took so long for it to come back in stock on Ulta's website, so I was really excited I finally got my hands on it. That's not good. I actually mentioned it in my top 16 disappointing products of 2016. I'll have that video linked up here. I love my Hard Candy Glamouflage foundation in porcelain as a mixer. You guys know, you've heard me talk about it 50 million times. So I was really excited to use an actual foundation mixer that is a white shade. No, it didn't work. It wasn't even that pigmented white. I had to use so much of it to properly lighten my foundation that it just got way too thick. It felt like a thick moisturizer consistency, and it didn't have a lot of pigment, so it didn't lighten up my shade very well. It just thickened up the texture of my foundation and felt gross. So a lot of people love that, but it did not work for me. And I've heard great things about the Manic Panic Dream Tone white foundation as well as the Body Shop lightning drops, but I don't want to try anything else. I'm gonna stick to my Hard Candy Glamouflage foundation because that lightens up my shade. It's nice and yellow, and it has a lot of coverage to it. So that's just my favorite product. I'm gonna stop screwing around trying other things, but I was really disappointed by the NYX foundation mixer. And next I had purchased a couple of the Urban Decay Revolution lipsticks. I cannot believe it has been 10 months since these were discontinued and they brought out the Vice lipstick range. I just can't believe it's been so long. So the reason I got these lipsticks is because they were all on sale for 50% off because the line was being discontinued. And the shades that I have are now available in the Vice line in the same finish, so I'm really happy about that because these colors are so beautiful. The first shade I have is Naked. It's a really pretty light neutral pink, I would say. I thought that this might be more cool tone, but when I compared it to other cool lip products, it looks a lot more warm. So this is probably more of a neutral. I love this. It is nice and opaque, very comfortable. I like cream finishes, even though they don't last as long, but I'm definitely happy that I have this. I need to wear it more, but I'm glad I was able to get it for such a great price. And then I purchased the shade Matte Backtalk. This is from their matte line, which is why it has black packaging. And this shade was an Urban Decay exclusive, so I was really excited when these were on sale, so I was finally able to get this for a great price. This is a really beautiful mauve shade. This is a very, very comfortable matte finish. This shade, as I said, is part of the Vice line and it is in the Comfort Matte finish, so that makes sense. So I definitely love this color and the formula is fantastic. And then with the Matte Backtalk, I did get a free gift from the Urban Decay website. It's one of their mini Revolution lipsticks in the shade Anarchy. I think I've used this once. I just don't wear bright hot pinks. I don't know if I want to try to use this up or pass along to somebody else. I don't like mini lipsticks. I love mini lip glosses or liquid lipsticks, but not actual lipsticks. I feel like they're just so much weirder to use. At least with liquid lipsticks and lip glosses, the applicator is the same size. It's just the packaging that's smaller. So I never end up using things like this, but it is a nice formula and I just wish I liked that color more. So I definitely would not buy Anarchy in the full size because of the shade. And next I had some drugstore things. The first is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Powder in the shade Translucent. My friend Amanda had sent this to me. As you can see, I've hit Major Pan. This is one of my holy grail face powders. This and the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat I think are incredible. This is the perfect shade for me. Very, very fair and yellow. It gives nice coverage. It helps keep me matte. I am going to continue purchasing this forever. And the other thing I had purchased was the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I have the shade Bronzer. This is a $15 bronzer and I was able to get it for $5, which is amazing. This was 40% off at Rite Aid that week and it had a coupon on the packaging. So I was able to get this for super cheap, which is fantastic because Physicians Formula can be a bit of an expensive drugstore brand. I love this bronzer. It's popular for a reason. It gives such a nice amount of color, but not too much, especially if you are fair skin. So the light bronzer shade is more warm tone and it has shimmer in it. And the bronzer shade is more cool tone and it just has a sheen. So it isn't necessarily that one's darker than the other. It's the finish and the undertone that are different. And I'm really happy I have this bronzer. I think it's fantastic. I like the scent. I think it smells like sunscreen, but I do see how it can be annoying or maybe you wouldn't like it. But I think the quality of this bronzer is fantastic. I just wish that it came in darker shades so people of deeper skin tones would be able to use this. And then I had a couple skincare things I had gotten from Influencer, the SK2 facial treatment essence and the facial treatment mask. I thought those did absolutely nothing and I know they're incredibly expensive. I don't know what an essence is. I used it like a toner and it worked. Like a very basic toner. I didn't notice it doing a single thing to my skin, and the full size of that I think is $100, which is stupid. Please, please, please do not spend that much money on a toner. It is not worth it. It will not do enough for your skin to justify that price. And the mask, it was a sheet mask. It was a big gloppy mess. It also did nothing for me. No, do not waste your money on high-end sheet masks. No, I don't think those are worth the money at all. And then I had gotten something from Mimi Box. It was the Beauty People Snow White Special Edition 2 Glimmer Waterproof Gel Liner Pencils. So those were a bunch of mini liners. They were all neutral colors, had shimmery finishes. I don't know how they're saying they're waterproof because they did not seem very long lasting and they were not that pigmented. I got rid of them. I did not think they were good quality at all. So guys, that was my hit it or quit it thoughts on hauls number 31. If you guys have tried out any of these products, I would love to know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.